Howdy ho, neighbors. Welcome to this Friday Eve special of the Sideline Junkies in conjunction with Clear Production Sports. My name is the Midnight Rider. I got three other guys with me here. We're going to do a little show. We're going to have people standing around the water cooler and they're going to be talking about it. And it's going to be called the Thursday Night Throwdown. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay.
That's the host, KG. That's the boss, BJ. That's the gentleman, Jack, in the corner. And this is a little show we call the Thursday Night Throwdown. And our host is KG.
Oh, man. First and foremost, good afternoon, good evening, lovely day we're having. Welcome to the Thursday Night Throwdown. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X. Don't matter, we there. Make sure you follow us on all streaming platforms as well, so you never miss a show. Okay? Now, we ain't here for a long time. We're here for a good time, so let's go ahead and jump into this thing.
Hold on. We got to get an update. Jack, how are your feet doing, man?
They doing great. I just had another doctor's appointment today. She was happy with it. So maybe another week.
So you probably cost yourself a little bit of money with your OnlyFans and selling your feet pics. Come on, man. We got to get you back healthy.
Yeah.
Feet sell, baby.
I'm getting back to normal a little bit. I mean, being off your feet for about 5 weeks. Almost 6. It's been something. It's been something. It's been worse than my knee replacement surgery, honestly. Everybody know I got 3rd-degree burns on the bottom of my feet on family vacation day 1. It sucked. So, yeah, here I am. They said I'm getting better. Said it looked good today.
All right.
Thanks for asking.
Good to hear. Throughout this season,
can I ask you something, KG?
What's that?
Today is the first day of NFL season. Why you got JT up?
Because that's how I'm be sitting and watching these two games this weekend.
Okay, makes sense. Gotcha.
That's my move right now.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's my move.
Just like it. I understand now.
So throughout the season, we like to bring you games, and our lines are brought to you by FanDuel, our unofficial line partner during the NFL season. Midnight Rider, do you have the line for tonight's game? Because me and Jack, we discussed tonight's game, and we did not give the line for it.
You gotta give me a second, cause
yeah, I know what it is.
Go ahead, shoot away, Jack.
It's -2, Philly.
Okay.
No, he's talking about tonight's game, right?
Yeah, tonight's game.
That's
it's Chiefs.
Oh,
the Chiefs -3.
My bad.
Chiefs -3.
Mm-hmm.
Over under is 46.5. Looks like you can get a little love by taking the Ravens on the money line plus 130. That's the bet we got to take. So that's the lines for the night's game.
I don't know how I messed that up, man. I was putting some info in about tomorrow's game. The Packers Philadelphia game, Eagles favored by 2, and the over under is 49 on Friday's game. Excuse me, fellas.
And that's where we'll start at. Gentlemen, coming into this game, you got Jordan Love versus Jalen Hurts. The new look Packers. I know JoJo's happy about that because the Packers have upgraded and revamped. Thoughts on this game as a whole when it comes to the Packers and the Eagles?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, we got to say that this is the first game that's a Friday night ball game, and then B, it's in Brazil. So we've got something special going on. And you kind of had the idea that something like this was coming down the pipeline, just because the way the league had, I don't know if you guys remember, but they were basically auctioning off countries at one point for sponsorship. And if you picked a certain country, that was the country that was basically your area to kind of develop or to introduce football to it. So this is just a continuation of a project of them trying to make sure everybody plays football. And of course, this is also the precursor to also the Olympics having flag football. They're going to try to football you to death to make sure this product grows. It becomes a global brand, not just an American item.
Yeah.
The game itself, hurts versus love. You know I'm a big Love fan. I think the keys may be the backfield, the two new additions, Josh Jacobs and Barkley. I think they're going to play a heavy role in how this ball game gets decided. Go ahead, Jack.
You got it. That sounds spot on. Spot on. These boys are going to throw the ball around, but I think a key is going to be both new addition running backs. You know, new additions. You hear that?
I mean,
both new addition running backs.
Yeah,
You know?
and if it isn't love, then why does it hurt so bad? Because these two backs they're gonna chop up the field, man, and then the quarterbacks will get going, and we'll see how this plays out. I think you also got to factor in Philly's redone his whole defense from the cornerback position out, so you got to figure out will we see what's his name, Cooper DeJean, the kid from Iowa? Will we get our first starting white cornerback since Jason Sehorn?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, I haven't even noticed that. Yeah,
And then this year is special because we got 3 of them.
Wow. Go white boy, go white boy, go. That's what they used to say at the basketball court when I was playing. But yeah, these two running backs, like you said, Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley. Jacobs with Green Bay, Saquon with Philly. I think it's going to be whoever can get the better of the running game might get this game, you know, because they're both going to throw the ball around. They're going to sling it. You know that. But I think running game in the red zone is going to be really needed, you know, good running game in the red zone to be successful. I agree with what you say, man. And we'll see if Kellen Moore can dial things up in Philly. You know, he's a new offensive coordinator over there. Let's see what the difference is, you know, because last year Philly fell on their face the second half of the season. I think they lost 7 out of 9. I mean, that's ridiculous. And you still make the playoffs? Wow. So Philly's got something to prove this year. In the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and then last year they kind of just fell towards playoffs. Got beat by Tampa Bay in the playoffs. I believe Baker Mayfield got them.
Who's that?
Philly. Who'd they lose first round to?
Yeah,
Tampa Bay. Yeah. So they got something to prove, I think. They were very upset with how the second half of their season went last year. And this whole game in Brazil, a lot of people aren't happy about that. Brazil, first of all, you know, we're United States football. Brazil is the biggest football capital, soccer in the world. So for that to be called football and us to have American football, I got a feeling some of the Brazilians aren't happy to see NFL there. And Brazil, that's a high crime rate over there. The players have been told, do not leave the hotel. Do not have your phone in your hand when you do leave the hotel, because a bunch of phone snatches go on over there in Brazil. And like I say, we know about the crime rate from when the Olympics were there a few years ago. It's a crime-ridden area where they're playing ball at. So it's crazy that they got to stay in their hotel the whole time and not go out and enjoy the country. Because, I mean, Brazil, beautiful place if you go to the right places. But
and then hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm having some technical difficulties, but everything Jack just said, the NFL knew beforehand. They knew about it. They don't care. They're testing the waters to see if this is going to be a profitable endeavor in the future. That's all they care about.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think honestly, BJ's right on point. I think what we're going to see part of this 18 game schedule, I think we're going to see each team play maybe an international set or international game somewhere. So that might be part of the 18 game phenomenon. You start like a week earlier than normal, and then you throw in the extra bye, and then you send teams to other countries to play a game. I mean, you got the perfect reason for it, because then you don't have to worry about the 9th game, who gets the home game. That's the international game.
I'm not a big fan of all this international stuff, man. I mean, exhibitions out there, sure. But all this travel on the ball team, bringing all your gear out there to another country, it's hard enough bringing all your gear to another state. So I'm not a fan of playing in other countries.
The crazy thing, before they even consider what they really need to do is realign the divisions. That would help cut down on some travel with some teams, some unnecessary travel. That could be the first step. It's like the NFL is the NFL. This is one of those things where they can't fall flat on their face because they're the NFL. If they expand too quick, they're still the NFL, still the shield. Everybody's still going to tune in. Everybody's going to pay $1,500 for NFL Sunday ticket. When you have that much power, unfortunately, the players are going to have to kind of, make a stand if something wants to change. But I don't see that happening. Everybody likes their paycheck to come on time.
I'll say this. I don't agree with the amount of international games in season. I remember, you would have a preseason game in Mexico City. I remember they did that one year with Dallas, and the field was so terrible. They was like, yeah, we don't think we're going to do that anymore. Then, it's gotten better. But I don't understand why in the world are we shipping so much product, and the product is the game, to London, Germany, now Brazil. Like, I get making it a global game, but if it was basketball, I could understand a little bit more. But football, American football, is not as big of a global game. Even with the exhibitions that we've done over the years, it's not as big as a global game as you think it is. And if you want to add an extra game, you want to make it 18 games. Whether it's every team plays a series overseas, yeah, I still think that the fans, the diehard fans, are getting shitted on, for lack of a better term, because they're losing the game. They're losing the home game. Now, some fans can actually travel for that. Some fans can't. But nah, man, I don't really agree with it. It's not my cup of tea, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, if you're trying to grow the product, you gotta, you can't grow something somewhere without it having footprints there. You got to plant seeds. You can't grow a tree without the seed being planted. And that's all these games are. It's them planting seeds in these countries. A lot of these countries have international football programs, so they're just adding on, and they're just trying to add to the development. Well, soon you'll start getting a guy like what's the guy up in Philly, Latu, who was in the international program, who's now a Pro Bowl left tackle. You get F.A. Obata, guys from the program that have come in and actually made decent careers in a league that they would have never played in any other time. This is a grassroots reach out progress in the program.
Yeah, NFL Europe was the same thing. And that failed twice. It failed as the World Football League, and it failed again as NFL Europe.
Okay, what's the point? That means that's a season. They're just trying to put a game there, let the people just see it, and then try to draw them as viewers later on. That's all they're trying to do.
Well, you got TV. They can watch the game on TV.
Look, I'm talking to the two fish shaking their fists at the clouds because of change. So, I mean, you gotta be visionaries, guys.
Vision nothing.
I keep telling y'all this ain't our NFL no more.
Man, it's just greed. It's just greed. They're trying to go out and get the money when they're already a multi-billion-dollar industry, man. It's just greed.
So when have you ever seen somebody with a lot of money not want more money?
That's the definition of greed.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
You're just throwing it anywhere now, man. I don't know. And we'll be playing on a soccer field tonight. Tomorrow night.
Well, quickly, let's go around the room. Quick picks. If you haven't already gotten your picks in on the ESPN Pigskin Pick'em, please do that. But quick picks from the panel. Start with the Midnight Rider, go with the Gentleman Jack, and finish up with the Boss BJ. Eagles Packers tonight.
You mean tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
I'm sorry.
Eagles Packers. Give me the Packers. Jack, what was the line again? It was -2, right?
Two is what I got today.
Packers favorite or they're the dog?
Eagles are favorite.
All right, so give me the Packers. And let's put this as an under because I think the travel and the fact they've been cooped up in the houses the whole time, I don't see them getting out and having this 45-42 type of ball game. I think they're going to have a real KG barn burner, and it's going to be like something like 23-17. The KG pew pew shootout.
Pew pew pew.
All right, shootout.
Jack, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
I think, Jordan Love, first year's QB1. I think he's going to come out tonight and play. I like the Packers. I think the Packers going to get them by 10.
Balls B.
Right.
I'm taking the Packers tonight. Not tonight, tomorrow night. I'm taking the Packers over the Eagles. Yeah, I'm taking the Packers. I need to see some things. I like how the Packers, finish. So I'm gonna take the Packers. The Eagles got some things to prove to me.
Well, I'm taking the Eagles in this one. I think Jalen Hurts gonna do Jalen Hurt things. So that's where I'm at with it. Bringing it back to the States, bringing it close to home. Some Commanders news. The Commanders fired a vice president of content for derogatory comments he made on players and fans. If you haven't seen it already, it was an undercover video that came out, and the gentleman was sitting at dinner with a reporter and said that most of the black players are low income and they're homophobic and it's in their culture. And I love hip hop, but I know it's in their culture to be homophobic. He also said that Jerry Jones pretty much runs the NFL and Roger Goodell's a $50 million puppet. That's no surprise. I mean, we've been saying that, but also that the NFL does not really care about the causes that it supports. Whether it's breast cancer awareness or the social injustice change, all of that. And it's like, wow, you said all of this and did not know that you were being recorded and you were being baited to say this. Now you are out of a job and probably will never work in the NFL again. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on this?
Go first, Jack.
I'm looking in. I got something going on right here. Go ahead, Ben, please.
No problem.
Thank you.
I
got something.
What he said, I want to address these separately. I think what he said, to be honest with you, has probably been said many times by many people in the league, around the league. Doesn't make it right. It's still disgusting. But it's probably been said in closed doors. If we ever get the emails from the Gruden case, we'll probably see stuff like that, especially from the stuff around the Colin Kaepernick situation. Now, on the other side, The part I have issue with is where does this end? Like we got people, you want to be on a date and somebody's going to be able to record you, and then that becomes like I just don't like where we're headed as a society. If that's something that somebody can do, I mean, we're going to catch a bunch of people on some hidden cameras, and I think we got to be careful. And I think that's part of the reason why they suspended him first and didn't fire him right away. Is because you got to be careful of the precedent that you set in this type of situation. What he said was definitely wrong, vile and ignorant. But for somebody to set you up on a date and then all of a sudden say gotcha because they want to get some clicks for O'Keefe or whatever the name of the company is, I think that's bull. I think that's going to be something that as a society we got to figure it out, man. Like some things got to be off limits. Now that man just thought he was having a conversation and just two people, and he was on a date, and he was trying to work his magic or whatever he was doing. Fine, but I just don't like that precedent of somebody being able to take your private intimate moment and make it something that costs you your job and your livelihood. I mean, if he said on a hot mic, I'd understand it more. But just the fact that somebody like is sneaking to record it, I get concerned because what's the stop? Where do we stop? Like, where do we stop this from impacting people? And like, is this a gotcha moment? Like, what are we doing here? Sorry,
BJ.
Yeah, I hate to be like this. I really just don't care too much about it at all because he's not the only one. There's way more people in the NFL that feel the same way he does. Unless you're gonna hire them through a lie detector test, these people are all over the place. These people are owners. Some of the players feel like that. You know, so it's one of the things you grow tired of unless they're gonna really do something about it. Like I said, this is one of them things that as long as it don't affect the money the NFL got coming in, until they show me they actually care and give a shit about this, and it's gonna take stuff like this seriously and like really punish people. It's just something else you got to deal with. You know, I do agree with Midnight Rider. I think it's going to get to the point where, like, when these players have their parties and stuff, and you go to certain concerts now, you can't have your phone. You have to put your phone in a bag or a locker or something, and it might get to that point where, you know what I'm saying, especially if you're on a date like that, maybe you know your wife don't know about it or whoever, you're not supposed to be somewhere. Hey, put that phone up in the locker. Let me see your phone. Put it in the car. Whatever the case is, you're gonna probably have. It's gonna be. It can be some measures taken. You shouldn't have to go through all that. But when you have positions where you have a lot to lose, you have to go through it. Because we've seen a whole bunch of things come down the pike where people are just trying to make a dollar and get clicks and get views and go viral. And it's just unfortunately this isn't the 80s and the 90s no more where you know you don't have to worry about that unless somebody had a recorder in their bag. But even if they had a recorder, you still got to match the voice. You don't have video, so it's just one of them things that people are going to have to be mindful of. If you're saying some vile stuff, you might you might want to make sure you're not recorded. And before I hand the mic back over, just like I know if this was said about other nationalities, other religions, or whatever, it would be way more big of a deal. So, like I said, until the powers that be take it seriously, the news isn't serious for me. And like I said, unless y'all going to do something about it, I really don't care about it. Because, like I said, behind him is his whoever's in the office next to him feel the same way.
I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think what he said about the NFL, we've known that for years. So that's not anything new because breast cancer awareness month is October 1st to the 31st. On November 1st, you're not allowed to wear anything pink anymore. All that has to go in the trash and it's done. Whenever they did the social injustice awareness, that was cool until it wasn't anymore. The whole thing with the national anthem and the troops, that was cool until it wasn't anymore. It's like they never stick to anything that they quote unquote support. So that was already known. But so they fired him. So what? The next person that takes his job, I guess they're going to do the same thing, and they'll be smart enough not to get caught on tape. So, moving on. The Midnight Rider is here. He wasn't here Tuesday for the list. Midnight Rider, explain the list that you had.
Do you have the list?
Yes, I do. I do have the list.
Can you read it off for me real quick? Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You ain't got to do the whole
number 5.
You don't have to do that.
It's no fun. Number 5. Number 5 is Shedeur Sanders.
All right, let's stay there. So Shedeur last week premiered at number 3. I moved him to 5 because when I watched the team play, I don't know if this kid's going to be able to stay upright long enough to make it through the whole season. I mean, one of his touchdowns, he's literally getting folded up as he's throwing the football. So I just worry about him long term. And as this team plays better talent, I mean, they played North Dakota State, and North Dakota State gave them everything they wanted.
They're not scrubs.
They're not scrubs. I knew he was going to say that. Okay. They're not scrubs at all.
Okay.
But there's a thing where you still got to sometimes show your dominance or show something. And this week coming up against a young Raiola kid at Nebraska, I think this is a big test for them. This is really where you're going to see if some of those transfers did come through. And I think this is one of those games where if they win it, I think they got a shot at 8 wins. If they don't win it, I think they're closer to 6. But again, I think the reason he's at 5 is just because pure opportunity, and I think he's going to struggle as we go forward.
Colorado going to get Nebraska because of the quarterback play. I think the experience Sanders has over the freshman over at Nebraska. I think differently about Sanders than you do. I think a little bit more high on him. I don't remember which show it was, but a show I was on recently, I stated he's going to be the best pro-ready quarterback come draft time.
That was Tuesday. We talked about that on Tuesday.
That's if he can stay upright.
Can I say something about Colorado for a second? One, I think Shedeur Sanders is highly overrated from what I'm seeing.
No.
I'm going to call him the Carmelo Anthony of college quarterbacks, because if you throw however many times a game, you better have the yardage. Now, can you get the team in the end zone? We had game number 2. Like I said, who did they play? North Dakota, right?
North Dakota State, yes.
North Dakota State. At some point, the Midnight Rider said, I was waiting for Colorado to be like, okay, this is the gas pedal. We're going to show y'all the door. And they never really did that. That's what concerns me about Colorado. They do too much damn celebrating on the sideline. Everything is a TikTok moment. Everything is a showboat moment. And these teams, if they don't understand, these teams, this is their Super Bowl against Colorado. They get all the hype and glory that they would normally get against a regular team. Every team that Colorado plays is a big game for that team. And until Colorado plays like that, I'm not worried about Colorado. This until they show me they have that extra gear, they're just another damn team right now. I'm not impressed with Shedeur. Everybody's hyping him up until he puts somebody away and not have Travis Hunter bail him out. Like, shit, any of us can throw to Travis Hunter right now. That kid is that's who I'm impressed with. That's like having Randy Moss on the team. All you gotta do is throw the damn ball up. But until Shedeur and Colorado show me that they serious, like, they just another team.
KG,
I'm here.
Let's speed through this, and then that way we can get everything in before the what you call it.
All right.
So 4 was what? Nico.
Nico, I am a lever.
Yeah. So Nico, I'm a lever. Tennessee quarterback.
I'm a believer.
I think he's a second-year guy. I think by the end of the year, you just said it. I think people are going to be believers in that kid. He's a special talent, got a special arm. He's gonna bring back Tennessee's offense the way he played when they had Heaton Hooker on that team. So he's gonna be good. Who's 3?
Number 3 is Dylan Gabriel of Oregon.
Dylan Gabriel. I didn't want to put him on the list at first. I moved him up. He had like 486 yards. The question is really going to be, can they get the ball moving? And it's going to be a sliding scale. So I might move him up. I might move him back down. I mean, like this isn't like something we're writing in stone. You know what I'm saying? This list is going to move all year long. And there's going to be some performances that I'm going to jump on and I'm going to jump out of. So yeah. 2.
Number 2, Carson Beck of UGA.
Carson Beck is going to be consistent. He's going to probably stay around 1 or 2. I think it's going to be a week by week thing with him. I think the only person that really can overjump him is Nico. And who's number 1?
Number 1, the favorite, Texas, Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers, I think he's got a big week this week with Michigan. So you're going to see a whole lot of stuff there. And then I heard Jack say Jackson Dart's name on Tuesday. That's the kid that I like. Cam Ward is the guy you can probably have to look out for. The kid at Arizona, I can't think of his name. It's another one of those tough names. Io fella, something like that. He's throwing to the best receiver in the country, Mr. McMillan. He's going to be somewhere flirting around with the list. So, I mean, we're talking about 5 quarterbacks out of 130. So the list is, like I said, it's always going to be moving, and there's going to be moving parts.
All right. Couple of comments real quick. Xavier said, how dare you push your door at number 5?
Oh, that sounds just because he's playing with Colorado.
Yeah. And he said, I'll take the Eagles in their tush push.
I think you must see less of that this year.
And then, you're giving Gabriel all this love. I mean, they didn't play nobody. They played Idaho. I should have put up 600 yards against Idaho. They only scored 24 points against Idaho. Man, you're overrating that Gabriel kid.
Again, Jack, the list is movable. So this is written. If we had an Etch-a-Sketch every Tuesday, we'd shake it and not start a new list. So we'll see where he lands up this week.
That's how I feel about Shador until he put some numbers up against somebody other than North Dakota State.
He has. And North Dakota State, I'm telling you, y'all think they scrubs just because they North Dakota State.
No, I'm not saying they scrubs because
Nebraska
they play really, really good. You can see they hard on the field, but you can also see where they were lacking talent and Colorado had it, and Colorado should have. That's when you're supposed to, when you walk through them, you're supposed to walk on their chest and let them know I'm going home, kiss your wife. And they just never can get that mustered up. That's what's worrying me about Colorado.
Well, State, they had a how you say this? They were pumped up. This is their first game at this level. They was gonna play their all out there. So I knew it was gonna be a good game because I've watched them play. I've laid money on North Dakota State in the past.
Let me ask you this, Jack.
Go ahead.
If that was Michigan, do you think they would have held that tight game with Michigan or Ohio State?
You're talking Michigan, Ohio State. This Colorado, bro. I mean, you're talking top 5, and you're talking maybe 25.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're on that list, if you're in that list at top 25, you should dispose at some point during the game. You should dispose of schools like North Dakota State. And that's what I'm saying. They come in the game, and this is what Colorado's going to get all year with these schools that man, these are the most cameras I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we got to move.
All right. Last topic. Rudy Gobert and Shaq are going at it again. Shaq called Rudy Gobert the worst player of all time in the NBA. And he said it because he said, how do you pay somebody $250 million and they're not playing for $250 million? If you see how how I walk slow, I can't turn my head all the way, my back's messed up because I earned my $120 million. You're not earning that $250 million that they're giving you, and I don't respect that. He also called out Ben Simmons in the same interview. Rudy Gobert said it's sad that you are pocket watching another man's finances. Fellas, when Shaq does this and we've seen this done several times before. When Shaq does this, is this helping or hindering?
It's Shaq being Shaq. Because first of all, Rudy, I'm gonna use my famous word. Rudy Gobert ain't no scrub. My man's been all defensive team. I mean, if you get all anything in the NBA team, that right there, his defense is what he's getting paid for. Is it a lot? Yeah. But why is Shaq picking on him? Go back to picking on JaVale McGee, Shaq, because Rudy ain't the guy. It's my opinion.
I gotta disagree with that, Jack.
Rudy, man. Just because he only gives you 8 points.
No, it's not the points. It's that I just don't hear nobody fear Rudy Gobert. You know what I'm saying? Nobody comes in the game like he's there because he's a big body, but you don't fear Rudy Gobert like you fear Shaq. And Shaq was half-assing most of the time. He'll tell you that. Shaq was half-assing most of the time and tripped in the MVP at 32 points a game and being, dominant and blocking shots. Like, Rudy's giving 110% out there. And I think that's why Shaq is like, you're a bum. Like, even on my worst day, I was a better defensive player than you. You're a defensive player in an era. You're getting praised for an era where nobody plays defense. It's easy to stick out like a sore thumb when no one plays defense.
Yeah, but I don't see Shaq saying he's the worst player in the league. Shit, look over at L.A. Got Bronny's son. He the worst player in the league. Shouldn't have been drafted. You know what I'm saying? There's other players than Rudy Gobert. I mean, 14 points, 13 rebounds, maybe 2 or 3 blocks a game was what he averaged.
I was going to ignore this until you brought the Lakers into it. So I'm
Go
going
ahead.
my piece.
That's why I did it.
You paying Rolls Royce money for Pinto performance.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
No, hold on, Jack. This guy in the playoffs was getting backed down by guards in the post. But you paying him $200 million? Nah, dog.
He still ain't the worst player in the league, all right?
He ain't the worst player in the league. He got the worst contract. He got the worst contract. Let's put it that way.
Okay, that's not what was said. I go, yeah, that's right. He's overpaid. He's
not worth any of that. And that's why Shaq is coming at him, because he's saying that you're not earning your keep.
I'll say this before we jump up out of here real quick. Shaq got to find a better way to motivate these guys, but BJ said something to me a long time ago. If you got to get somebody to motivate you to get angry to play ball up to your potential, you don't need to be playing ball. You should be able to motivate yourself. But some of these guys do play kind of lazy. And I don't know what it is for Gobert. Sometimes he does play kind of lazy. Just my opinion. So
Gobert played big in the Denver series to get him.
He did.
Up there. I mean,
he did.
I don't know. I just don't agree.
Quickly before we leave out of here, me and Jack talked about it on Tuesday, so I'll lead us to the Midnight Rider and the boss BJ. But Baltimore versus Kansas City is tonight. I believe Baltimore's a 3-point favorite.
I didn't pull that one.
Yeah, they're 3-point favorites.
So what do you two gentlemen think about that? Because Jack and myself really dived into that on Tuesday, so we can have time to get to everything else today. So
I got you guys. I just want to just end it because we're basically all going to watch the game. So that's kind of why I just want to hit this game real quick. I think this is going to be a great opportunity for KC to get their feet started, get their feet wet and get started. Baltimore's got a lot of change. They've got 3/5 of their offensive line that's completely different. I think this is an opportunity for KC to kind of establish itself and get off to a quicker start than they did last year. So I picked KC.
And I'm also going with KC. Like I said, I'm going with the better quarterback. I think you'll see Patrick Mahomes and his new toy, for lack of a better word, show out a little bit. And then you still have the Mahomes to Kelsey. You got Pacheco. I'm gonna go with, and then like the Midnight Rider said, if they're missing teeth on the offensive line and you bring in that Chiefs defensive line, I'm gonna take that anytime. That's you know what I'm saying. That's the matchup I'm looking for. So I'm taking the Chiefs in this one.
Who'd you
All
take,
right.
KG?
I took Baltimore in this one.
Oh, 3 Chiefs, 1 Baltimore. Okay.
I took Baltimore. It's a historical fact that if you look back at it, on a Thursday night to open the season, the defending world champions are 2,396-1 all time. This will not be the second win for the defending champs.
Numbers are approximate.
Yes. Yes. All right. Got to get up out of here. Enjoy the game. Football is back. Ladies and gentlemen, for the two Southern gentlemen down below, the Midnight Rider and the Boss BJ, the gentleman Jack Carr, I'm the big guy KG, baby. Football is back, man. We don't do no overtime. We are out of here.